What's up, comic fam? Uh, yeah, Colts Comics, and Bearded Comic Bro. They do a great monthly cover challenge, and I've participated in a few of them, um, and this month's was really, I thought, just so interesting, and I'm seeing a lot of you guys post your own videos, and I would encourage, if you haven't, to do it because it's really fun. This is a fun one. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun curating this list, and I did. It's one of those things you kind of have to put some thought into. Um, I mean, it's loosely just the best fight covers in your collection. Just show off your fight covers. So covers where people characters are fighting, but I think you do need to kind of uh, narrow what that means. And so in this um, selection of books, I took fights to mean a cover where they're fighting or they've fought, right? Or they're about to fight. So they're about to fight, they're fighting, or they've fought. And it's really, uh, I also had to kind of um, eliminate group fights because there's a lot of like, for example, this cover right here. This is a great fight cover by Jim Lee here. The X-Men fighting, the two teams fighting themselves. But it's a group fight. It's sort of chaotic. Um, as great as it is, I wouldn't count this among, like, I wouldn't count it as a quote unquote fight cover. So a fight cover would entail sort of mano a mano, meaning one on one, or just something that's localized to really among two forces or two factions. So yeah, I tried to eliminate like group fights, even though that generally covers great. And I also eliminated like a cover like this, for example. This is a great about to fight cover here with Daredevil Elektra versus the Hand, but it technically counts as like a group fight. Um, if it were Elektra versus Daredevil, that would be, I think, qualified. But because it's Elektra and Daredevil versus the Hand versus a bunch of like hand, I guess they're samurai ninjas or something. Is there such a thing as samurai ninjas? But Frank Miller pits them up against the Hand. And so, as great as that cover is, and as probably one of the best fight covers of all time, it doesn't fall into my definition of what a fight cover is. Again, fight cover is going to be two superheroes or a superhero and a villain going at it, uh, where they're about to fight, they're fighting, or they've fought. And that's what we're going to show off today. And so this is going to be a really fun one. Normally, these cover challenges are kind of they're kind of random, but when it's a fun one like this, we definitely want to get involved. All right, so let's get started here. This one's sort of a timely one with the release of the movie. I'm going with a great Mike Deodato Jr. cover, and that's, look at that great cover. Black Panther dodging the Namor spear there and kind of getting in there. That's a great action cover. This is New Avengers 7. Uh, just a nice key book. This is where Atlantis declares war on Wakanda. Just a great cover again. Great fight cover right there. So this is kind of like the essence of what we're going for, right? And I've got 13 books to show off, so that was the first. This next one is just also a great cover. And it pits She-Hulk versus the Red Hulk. This is a Frank Cho cover on King Size Hulk #1. This is actually a reprint. Inside is like there are some original stories, and there's a reprint of Hulk's 181 and 180. So that's really cool. Reprints sort of the fight between Hulk and Wolverine, but on the covers this great She-Hulk versus Hulk. They're about to go at it. And this is, I think, the first battle and cover of Red Hulk versus She-Hulk. So yeah, I really loved. I mean, the more and more I understand what this comic is with the reprint and just that this is, I think, the second appearance of Red Hulk in comics. And again, that first battle, this book becomes more and more like a darling of the PC. So just glad to have that. All right, this next one's another great battle cover, and that is the classic Jim Lee Conan cover, Conan 242, where Conan's close-up encounter with Red Sonja. Just love all the detail, just the close-up there on the action there. They're really struggling against each other. Love it. Beautiful cover. I'm going to pose a question to those of you. Just let me know in the comments who you think is the best artist. Now, there's a lot of great artists out there. For example, Archer. There's Peach Momoko, and there's artists like, hey, what's up? What's up, Justin? Hey, Naman Hyung, what's up? I'm showing off my fight covers for the monthly comic cover challenge. So it's been fun. But as I was saying, let me know who you think is the artist that best illustrates fights. Because it's one thing to draw a character, for example, Peach Momoko draws a lot of great covers, a lot of sort of characters doing some kind of action, but she doesn't necessarily have too many covers where they're fighting each other. And of course, same goes for Art Germ. Same goes for, you could even make that argument for like someone like George Perez. George Perez has these great sort of like multi, where he gets like just multiple characters on a cover. All right, glad you guys can join. But you know what I mean? There's not a lot of fights going on in those covers. It's setting up a great story. It's setting up a great, sort of sequence of motifs in the cover, but it's not actually fighting. For example, this one here, Zek, that's a great Zek cover, but it's not really something where people are fighting and engaged. So I just want to know what you think is the best like fight cover artist. You could definitely make an argument for like Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane has a lot of great covers where they're not necessarily fighting, but they're, kind of like pitted against each other. Um, there's that great Spider-Man, the first Venom cover, where Venom's just really, you know, driving it, uh, kind of, you know, driving Spider-Man into the pavement. That was, I think, um, ripped off by Todd. Ripped that cover off of Greg LaRoque. So Justin, Todd, that famous cover was ripped off from your dad by Todd. But let me know what you think. Who the best artist? Obviously, you're gonna have to wait to see which artist kind of takes the mantle of sort of the best fight cover in my collection. But we're moving on. This next one is, when it came out, it was one of the most epic, like, Batman events. And there's been a lot of Batman events, but this one in the mid '90s, where Bane, and you're not seeing the full cover here. You got to remove this sort of die cut flap there, but it's where Bane breaks Batman's back, and yeah, he's great. I agree. He's great at the poses, and the poses can be sort of, I guess, fight like poses, but yeah, they're just generally like something like this, or like the cape work with the Batman stuff. They're not necessarily like great action like sequences. But I mean, there are those covers. Like there's that great Spider-Man Hulk cover where Spider-Man's kind of punching up and Hulk's it's lifting Hulk up and stuff. So that's a great cover right there. So I mean, definitely you can make the argument for McFarlane. But yeah, uh, right. The backbreaking cover is just, it's one of those events where like, no way, they broke Batman's back, and like he was just out. Batman was out for like months. And there's this question was like, would he come back and all that? So it's one of those just like epic moments in comics, especially, and it was played out on cover, but in the pages also, you like Bane just drops him over his knee and like crack, like in the panels, right? That just that there's that crack that happens. The crack heard around the world. So yeah, that's so cool. All right, these next two covers are some of, like, when you talk about a fight cover, it's really important to have the two characters, if they're like arch rivals, right? You can't necessarily say that about Bane and Batman. Um, Although Bane's a great villain, you couldn't really say he's the arch rival of Batman. Um, the same goes for really like this cover. Um, I don't know. I mean, this is becoming more and more. I guess the closest thing to Black Panther's arch rival. I don't know. You can make that argument, I guess. But this next one, there's no question. These two guys are their each other's arch rival, and that is Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow. These two guys are the Blood Brothers who have a falling out, and look at that great. This is a cover by uh, what's his name? It's covered by Michael Golden. Great New York City subway battle, and man, it's epic when they're battling in the trains of New York City. Great, great, and that's a great action shot there. Just Storm Shadow kicking Snake Eyes out of a moving train. That's pretty. That's pretty awesome. Um, as good as this cover is, I gotta Okay, so this is a great battle between two arch rivals, but this is just a great battle fight cover between, that's right, Destro and Storm Shadow. This is a Mike Zeck beauty masterpiece, and man, is it a beautiful cover. That's just a beautiful Zeck. I love Zeck card. Zeck, Mike Zeck draws some of the best stuff, man. All right, so moving on. This next one is it's um, it's a really good rivalry that doesn't play out enough. It just played out one time on the cover of a DC Marvel Rare 90s crossover, and that's this John Romita Jr. Cover of Batman versus Punisher. And I don't know, who do you have winning in this one? I got to go with Batman. As much as I like Punisher, I love the Punisher, but Batman's just the bigger superhero, the bigger legacy superhero. But yeah, this is an epic cover. I gotta agree. This is pretty. They're fighting in the rain. The Joker's like egging them on, um, and both looking pretty badass there. Great crossover cover. All right, now we're getting to the top, kind of in the top echelon of fight covers, and this won't surprise anybody why it made the list, and that is Daredevil versus Wolverine, the first battle between the two Marvel iconic figures. How many of you guys are excited for Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool 3 with the Wolverine? Now, did you guys watch the last sort of, I guess, trailer with uh, Hugh Jackman and Ryan what's his name? Ryan Reynolds, right? Yeah. It it was hilarious because they end up, like they said, they're gonna tell what happens in the story, and then some music dubs over. You can only lip read what they're saying, but they're like getting all like excited and like doing action scenes. And in that video, it's just like a little gleam, but Reynolds actually sticks to, like, he like mimics sticking two swords in Wolverine's torso and Hugh Jackman's torso, which is a preview of this is going to come. They're going to bring that to the big screen. I mean, that's pretty much why everybody was going out and buying this. Other than the news, you knew that scene was coming. You knew they were gonna create this scene, this epic where Deadpool sticks two swords in Wolverine and hoists him over his head. That's coming. And so that is just an awesome Andy Kubert cover. Sorry, Adam Kubert. Adam Kubert cover. Wolverine versus Deadpool. Sticking with the Wolverine and sticking with Punisher, we've got Wolverine versus Punisher in the Punisher War Journal number 7. There's just a nice cover there of the two guys battling. You know, it's there's actually, I mean, there's no real winner in this. They kind of like it ends up in a draw, and they end up kind of working together in the book. But yeah, I mean, in a real fight, I would imagine Punisher doesn't stand a chance. That's a great Wolverine versus Punisher cover. All right, we're getting into right, great cover, huh? And this next cover is just one of my personal favorite covers. I mean, it's just a great cover regardless of the theme, which is fights, right? And that's this beautiful Superman versus Wonder Woman cover. Now, the cover that precedes this, 210, or is it the one that follows it? The one where Wonder Woman has Superman tied her, like kind of like has a dagger to his throat and has him wrapped around in the golden lasso. That's a great cover, and that actually should have probably made this list. Um, but I thought, this is one where they're actually fighting, and you get the great sort of like, you know, Wonder Woman holding her own there. She just took a blow from Superman and blocked it, so shows you how powerful she is as well. I just love that aspect of this dynamic. It's like, Superman's the strongest superhero in the world, but Wonder Woman is right there with him. So, and man, I was asking you to I just showed, the last two I showed were these great uh, Jim Lee covers, and Jim Lee can draw like act like fighting. He can draw fighting, no question about that. As you can see from this cover, and you know, he probably would get my vote as the best fight cover artist, um, just because I'm biased. I'm biased like that, and because of covers like this, bam, right in your face. You knew that was coming. X-Men 5, the battle between Omega Red and Wolverine. And Wolverine, you can see the adamantium skull exposed there. That's right, I'm biased. But look at that cover, man. Can anybody do a better like fight sequence cover than that right there? Two adamantium based uh, adamantium based superhumans going at it. Man, I don't think super mutants, I should say. That's a great cover right there. All right, but we still got some books to go. That could have easily been the best book in the collection, but we got to go with this cover. And this is a Rick Buckler cover, but man, is it just classic there. It's got just all this is it technically can kind of count as a Bronze Age or early Copper book, but it's got that like Copper Age vibe to it. And again, just a great, like, here nothing communicates um, how powerful a character is when Superman has to team up with someone to take on. And Black Adam, this is, I think, another one of those covers where we can pretty much bank on, we'll see in the movies, um, that Superman Shazam will join forces and take down the Rock. So looking forward to that. That's a great battle cover. All right, this next one is just, again, one of my favorite covers of all time. It is not the top cover though. Okay, we got two more covers. This is Batman 612. And look at that. It's kind of like, yeah, all right. Are you done struggling yet, Batman? Uncle, did you say uncle? Was that? So it's not a fight, yeah. I was almost like hesitant to put this in because it's to Superman it's not a fight, but to Batman it's the fight of his life. So, but man, look at that! Nothing communicates mismatch or David and Goliath than that cover right there. And not to give, I'm sure all of you who are fans have read this amazing run, but Batman actually gets the best of Superman with some chicanery, but that's how Batman works all the time. All right, so this is sort of the top battle cover in my collection, and it really is just sort of a tribute to my favorite character, one of my favorite comic book artists, and just an epic battle cover here, and that is Superman 242, and it's this awesome cover of Superman battling himself, and Neil just they're trading blows. This is a great Neil Adams cover. Rob Liefeld can draw great action covers, but he can't draw feet. Yeah, Rob Life. Say what you will about right. Go and check out his. I'm not talking about his like original old stuff, because you got to give artists some time. So this is the thing about comic book artists. They're not going to start out the gate a polished comic book artist. You develop over time. So I think Liefeld, if you go and look at his later stuff, it's really good. You got to give Liefeld some credit. I think he gets a lot of flack. Oh, he can't draw. And if you look at his early stuff, it really is not that polished. But go look at his stuff now. It's really good. And so I think, people, you gotta mention him you got to mention him in the same category as all these other legends, because he was an industry trailblazer, not necessarily for what he did on paper, but what he did in the industry, right? And the body of work he put out. So definitely he's one of the hardest working. I think his art is really, like, the style of his art is incredible. It's like what you wanted to read in the 90s, right? You just wanted to see these big beefy Hulk guys with weapons and and he can draw feet now. So say what you will about him not being able to draw feet, he can draw feet now. So I think we got to give Liefeld some credit. But anyway, my top fight cover there. This dude can draw everything from feet to buildings to Superman. Neil Adams. Superman 242. Great, beautiful Bronze Age book there. All right, well, I had fun putting that list together. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Naman Hyung, I'm gonna see you in Seattle soon, right? I'm really looking forward to that. So let me know when you're getting here. Let's try to connect before you move. And then once you're here, let's hit up. Oh, you're in town. Oh, already? You're in Bellevue. Well, let's hook up. I found a new comic book shop, actually. So as an update, I've been waiting on that. I'll connect with you after this stream. I'll hook up and we can try to meet up. But yeah, I found a new comic book shop. It's a great little place. We can go there, I guess. They've got some. They've got a decent back issue bin. Not the cheapest place, but what's nice about that shop is I ordered my um, Spawn Batman books. I got 2 books, and I ordered them there. So when they come in, they're just going to call me, and I can go pick them up. So I'll again, that's coming out on I think the second week of December, December 14th. So I'll be going there to pick that up. But yeah, we definitely need to get together and just maybe grab lunch or something and hit half price books or do something. But looking forward to that. Oh, you just got in tonight. Okay. Well, that's great. Let me know if you want to. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm going to end this thing and I'll message you on Instagram, Young. See you soon. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Put up your fight covers. So shout out to Comic Cole and Bearded Comic Bro. Thanks for coming up with these great themes, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.